Welcome back to another session on my Caribbean and Latin American news now. Thank you so much for joining. And in this afternoon's program, we are going to be looking at Sean Sobers, and he is the Minister of CARICOM and Foreign Affairs in Trinidad. Sean Sobers, no proof. Trinidad fishermen are dead. U.S. operation under fire. So Sean Sobers is advancing the theory that there is no evidence that the fishermen who have been purportedly reported to have died are not necessarily dead. Now, where are they if they are alive? And we know that that happened on October 14th, and we are approaching today is the end of the month. So where are they? Trinidad and Tobago's Minister of CARICOM and Foreign Affairs, Sean Sobers, has cast doubt on reports that the missing Trinidadian fishermen were killed rather, during a U.S. military operation in Caribbean waters. So we're saying there is no evidence to confirm the men are dead, raising serious questions about U.S. involvement, regional security, and Trinidad's sovereignty. In this report, we look at what really happened, how the US has responded, and what this means for Caribbean-US relations going forward. Now, this is a very sensitive topic because last week in the news, in the media, in the Trinidadian media, and also in the international media, they were reporting the fact that the fishermen had died and one of the men was actually buried. They had a funeral service. Evidently, he wasn't there because his body cannot be found. But nonetheless, they had a Thanksgiving ceremony for the life of one of the fishermen, the Trinidadian fishermen. Now, that to me is a mystery. If you shot at a boat and you are, well, the United States says that they were clear that these were drug traffickers. Now, Saunders is suggesting that the people who are law-abiding fishermen have nothing to worry about. Now, if you have not tried somebody and you have said that one of the fishermen or two fishermen have died because you have struck them and more have died, I understand to date, over 40 people have died from US striking these speedboats and killing people. Now, if you have not tried them if you have not arrested them and tried them in a court of law, then you're suggesting that what Donald Trump and Marco Rubio said about them, without any trial, without due process, is true. Then how can the law-abiding, the quote-unquote law-abiding fishermen believe in the narrative given by the government? Sean Sobers is suggesting that there's no evidence that they have died. So where are they? Where are they? And with all of this sophisticated surveillance equipment, that they could have seen a speedboat and they were able to detect whether or not these were drug traffickers. Now, these are the allegations. I'm not suggesting that they were or they were not. If they had such sophisticated surveillance equipment, why can't they locate their bodies or their whereabouts? This is what we should be asking. Why is Sean Sobers and his US partners not able to locate the bodies? Because they are the ones who shot them in the first place. The US officials shot at the boat, struck the boat. So shouldn't they be able to have known the whereabouts of the boat? Did it go on the ground, on the sea, not on the ground, but on the sea, because it was on high waters? We don't know. We just don't know. And Sean Sobers is suggesting that those people were reporting, including in the United States media reported that he died. I don't know to whom he's speaking. He's saying that these are wild allegations that they are advancing. And he doesn't understand why they are, promoting such wild, spurious, crazy allegations. That is what Sean Sober says. When we say there is no evidence to suggest that these persons were killed by a strike, it is a fact, he said, accusing some media outlets of spreading wild, spurious, crazy allegations. These are the words of Sean Sobers, the Minister of CARICOM and Foreign Affairs. Now, he went on to suggest that the government had no information of the victims of US strikes being in possession of illegal drugs, guns, or small arms, he said. So the government had no information of the victims of US strikes being in possession of illegal drugs. So if you have no information, how is it that you're telling the quote-unquote law-abiding citizens that they have nothing, that's law-abiding fishermen, have nothing to be concerned about? If in fact your government has nothing, isn't the Trinidadian government there to protect their citizens from harm, whether in international water or on domestic shores? I would think so. I would think so. And he's suggesting also that listen to what Sean Sobers is saying, or the story reported. Foreign and CARICOM Affairs Minister Sean Sobers yesterday confirmed that authorities have obtained the coordinates of recent United States military operations in the Caribbean, which verify that the strikes occurred in international waters outside TNT's exclusive economic zone. So, because it occurred in international waters doesn't mean, therefore, that Trinidad and Tobago doesn't have a right to ensure that their citizens are protected, and that whatever happened, that there should have been some investigation into the whereabouts of these people who are alleged to have died. Okay? So Sean Sobers will have a lot of answers to provide, because this is a mystery. This is a mystery, the likes of which we have never seen, because it's either they're dead or they're alive. What is it, Sean Sobers? And we need you to come clear. You must understand that the Trinidadian citizens are not stupid. So they're watching and they're seeing the holes in your arguments, in your statements. And you're trying, I'm sure you're under duress, Sean Sobers, and I understand that you're trying to hold your job intact. But at the end of the day, in the long term, do you think that this is going to be worth it? Remember, these are the lives of people, people's loved ones, people's uncles and cousins and sons. And they want to know, they would like to know, they would like to have a closure on whether or not this individual or these fishermen have died. The international media reported that they've died. So are you suggesting that we should not believe the New York Times, the Washington Post, Reuters, the Guardian, the UK Guardian newspaper? I don't trust them, but officially, many of the people like Sean Sobers, they trust them when they want to believe what they're saying. So are you suggesting, Sean Sobers, that New York Times, the Reuters newspaper, Washington Post, are making wild speculations about the death of these two fishermen, Trinidadian fishermen? Is that what you're suggesting, Sean Sobers? Please let us know, because this is something that is alarming, something that we need to pay closer attention to. It's almost like we're living in an expanded era of this health emergency where things just happen and the government doesn't have to explain why they happen. And he's saying that he has images of the coordinates of the strike of when the US military struck the boat. He has that coordinate, but he's thinking about whether or not he should disclose them. He's thinking about it. So is this a secret state that Trinidad is running? Or should it be a transparent democratic state? Is the state of Trinidad a democracy? Or is it a government run by secrecy? I think that the Trinidadians have to really ask themselves that question, okay? Because if he's thinking about releasing, when you have the citizens concerned Fishermen are concerned, loved ones are concerned about the brutal unaliving of their family member, loved one, colleague. And you're thinking whether or not. So what is there to hide? What is there to hide? What is there to hide, Mr. Sobers? And that's the question I'd like to ask. What is happening in Trinidad and Tobago? I just don't know. Thank you for watching the video. Please make sure that you like and you share. And please leave a comment. Do you think the fishermen died, or do you think they're still alive? Please let me know in the comment section. Be sure, guys, to share the video so the video can be shared, right, with many people so that we can get truth and analysis out. I don't want to waste my time now, so make sure you watch the video, okay? All the best to you. See you in another one. Ciao.